All right, in today's video, I'm going to be reacting to a Jacob effing Jones video where he talks about cigarettes and why they are not a waste of money. Now, this could apply to vapes or really any type of addictive drug, in my opinion. And I'm going to react to that video today. Now, as a quick disclaimer, I do want to state I respect the heck out of Jacob as a YouTube creator. This dude is on here constantly grinding. He seems like a very genuine person, and this is nothing more than my reaction to his opinion on a topic.
Alrighty, so today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how cigarettes are not a waste of money. A lot of people who, especially non-smokers, in my personal experience, seem to believe that cigarettes are a waste of money and that your money could be spent a lot better.
Before we continue in the video, I want you guys to let me know in the comments, do you think vaping, nicotine products, cigarettes, whatever it is you're addicted to, is a waste of money or no? And then tell me your reasons why in the comments below.
But today I'm going to be talking about why, in my personal opinion, they are not a waste of money, and I'm going to be smoking a little bit of a Newport Boost Gold menthol or tobacco to menthol cigarette, you know what I'm saying? I keep getting my words all jumbled up. But it is what it is. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying?
It's all right, Jacob. It is what it is. We all know what you're saying. Know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying, man.
I think without further ado, let's go ahead and get one of these out. And let's go ahead and get it lit up. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?
Now, in a little bit, Jacob's going to talk about the process of lighting up a cigarette, inhaling a cigarette, and the ritual that most people go through. And we see the same thing with chewing tobacco and vaping as well, too. And he's going to talk about reasons why he enjoys this process. But because we have a lot of people who call our offices to quit using nicotine, and they say, Dr. Frank, I enjoy the process of lighting a cigarette. I enjoy the process of vaping. Here's the thing. It's a drug addiction. What you enjoy is the steps that you're taking to get that drug because your brain knows that you're about to receive a reward, that you're about to receive a drug. So I want you to think about it this way. It's not exactly that you enjoy the process. It's your brain and that addicted part of your brain saying, okay, here's Frank going through the process of hitting a vape, picking out a pinch of chewing tobacco, lighting a cigarette. Good. I'm about to get that drug. It's not actually the process that you enjoy as much as you might think you do.
But why aren't cigarettes a waste of money? Well, the simple fact is, if you enjoy something, then it's not a waste of money.
Now, right here, Jacob is going to build up his stance, saying that he enjoys smoking cigarettes. And therefore, because he enjoys it, it's not a waste of money. And I would pause the video right now if I was talking to Jacob and I would say, hey, man, just real quick, is that Jacob Jones talking, or is that the addiction talking? Is that addicted voice in the brain the thing saying that?
That's how I see it, at least. That's how I see it. Now, the argument for why they are a waste of money is that, look, it's something that does dangerous to you. It's something that's dangerous, physically dangerous, and some people I'm sure would consider mentally dangerous as well. It's something that's physically dangerous. There's no point to it. That's a lot of people's perspective, and while I'm going to respect that perspective, I'm not going to put it down or anything like that. Everybody's got their own opinion on this subject, and that's okay. And if you guys do have that opinion, please comment down below and let me know why you guys have that opinion, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to encourage discussion.
Do you guys not love how kind this dude is? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. And I think discussion is really the most important thing about this sort of topic.
And that's all we're doing today. We're just having a discussion, nothing more.
And I think without being able to discuss it, what's the point of even talking about it, you know what I'm saying? But in my personal opinion, it's not a waste of money, as said. Because if you enjoy it, then it's not a waste of money kind of thing.
Now, Jacob, throughout the course of this video, doesn't clearly state why he enjoys smoking. He just says he enjoys it. Now, I reacted to another video of his, which I've linked in the video description below and in the comments, and he describes nicotine addiction as a feeling of relief. So I'm going to guess that he enjoys smoking because of that feeling of relief, that feeling of satisfaction that comes along with it, which I can 100% relate to. Here's the problem with that, though. That feeling of relief, that feeling of satisfaction is nothing more than you lighting another cigarette, hitting your vape again to fight off the withdrawal symptoms that are starting to set in since you last consumed nicotine. Quoting Alan Carr, this is very, very comparable to wearing a very tight shoe, only to take it off at the end of the day and say, I feel so much better. I feel relief. Why were you wearing a tight shoe in the first place? Nicotine addiction is in essence the same thing.
That I know lots of people that they have subscriptions to Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, all of those kind of thing. They have subscriptions to Spotify, Apple Music, all of them kind of thing. They're spending $50, $60 a month on just subscriptions.
Now, Jacob's about to make a really good point about subscriptions, but before he does, I want to state something that's super important. So in Alan Carr's book, The Easy Way to Quit Smoking, or The Easy Way to Quit Using Nicotine, he describes addiction using the pitcher plant. So this is a plant, and bugs, imagine yourself as a bug, will go drink the nectar around the top portion of this plant. And imagine yourself flying on top of this plant and starting to drink some of the nectar. It's sweet, it tastes good, and initially you say, you know what? I really enjoy this. I want more of this. So slowly that bug starts to creep farther and farther down the plant, consuming more and more nectar. And then suddenly when the bug says it's full, when it says I've had enough, I want out, it's too late. It's stuck in the sappy nectar getting sucked down to the bottom of the plant, only to fall upon all his dead homies who were also fallen for drinking the nectar. This is kind of what addiction is like. Everyone who is addicted to any drug, I don't care if it's heroin, cigarettes, alcohol, we all are under the belief that we enjoy it. Otherwise we never would have done it. So we all start with that initial belief. And I can tell you for cigarettes, vaping products, and alcohol products, a lot of this has to do with the brainwashing from the media, or brainwashing that we've undergone growing up. Maybe you saw your grandfather having a smoke on the patio, drinking a coffee as a successful businessman or something like that. We've all been brainwashed by media into the allure of drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, and vaping. This is a constant brainwashing that occurs, a multi-billion-dollar market and industry too, that you're up against.
That's a lot of money. Well, it might not be a lot of money to some people, but to me, as a 21-year-old college student, $60 is a lot of money. I mean, that's just over what I spend on cigarettes for the entire month kind of thing.
Now, after he's going to talk more about canceling subscriptions in a moment, which I realized, Jacob, that I was actually wasting money on a few subscriptions that I forgot about. Like I had Hulu and Netflix. I honestly canceled Hulu after watching your video. So thanks for saving me like the $7 a month. And I had a car wash subscription that I canceled because it's winter now. So thanks, my man. Now, I want to say something. He just stated that he spends about $50 a month or so on nicotine products. I want to do the math on this real quick. So 50 times 12, okay, that's going to be $600 a year. But here's where people fail to realize something. If you had that in a conservative index fund, let's say that gave you about 10% returns a year on your money, that would give you an extra $60 if you had this in the stock market. Now, the next year, you're going to add another $600. So you're going to have $1,200 plus your $60 that you earned on interest. So that's $1,260. But now this year, you're going to get 10% of that. So you're going to have $1,260 plus $126. Now you're up to $1,386. This is the idea of compounding interest. So I tell people, not only are you wasting your money on nicotine, but you're missing out on other opportunities where your money might be working for you. Now, in the case of Jacob Jones, he's probably making more money off this video than he did for that pack of cigarettes, which he's in a really unique situation. Most people watching this are not in that situation.
And to me, most people I know that have all of the subscriptions, they don't use all of them. They have one, and then they maybe use another kind of thing. They don't need the other ones, but they have them just in case they want it kind of thing. But that, to me, is a waste of money because you're not using it kind of thing. If there's a show that goes on, pay for 1 month and then cut it off kind of thing. It's just one of those things that, personally, I don't like buying subscriptions. That's why I'm using an example. So if you guys have subscription to a lot of stuff, no hate kind of thing. It's not for me, but it certainly could be for other people kind of thing, so no hate on that at all. But it's just one of those things where I'm trying to drive in my point that it's not a waste of money if you enjoy it.
The only thing people enjoy about consuming nicotine, and this is the facade that we fall for, is we enjoy alleviating the onset of withdrawal symptoms that we're starting to experience since the last time we used nicotine. So you hit your vape, 15 to 30 minutes later, you want to vape again. You light a cigarette, 15 to 30 minutes later, you want another cigarette. Now you get cravings. Now you get anxiety. Jacob Jones himself described this as something that's scary. He described it as feeling as if pieces of his puzzle, the puzzle that makes him him, start falling apart, and that he doesn't feel whole again until he has that next cigarette. And he then said, that's scary to me. What is enjoyable about that process? What is enjoyable about going through withdrawals every 30 minutes of the day? Personally, I find that to be exhausting. I find that to be mentally draining, and I find that to be physically extremely harmful on our bodies. I feel 1,000 times better mentally and physically since I've quit, and I think most people would agree with me on that one.
Because everybody I've met who has a bunch of subscriptions, they enjoy having those subscriptions because they have a variety kind of thing. They don't have to just watch Netflix movies. They can also watch Disney Plus movies. Even if they don't watch a lot of Disney Plus movies, they still have that option, and that's why they enjoy it. And that, to me, is why cigarettes are not a waste of money, because it's something that I personally enjoy.
Now, we have to pause on the subscription example that he's saying. Whenever we say we enjoy something, it's my opinion that what we actually enjoy is the outcome of that something. So I enjoy working out because I like creating a better physique for myself because that results in people looking at me differently. I like that. I enjoy making YouTube videos like Jacob presumably does because we enjoy getting views. We enjoy interacting with our audience. And I'm sure there's some degree of monetization on his channel. So he enjoys the outcome of this making him some degree of money. And it's fun. He's obviously having fun doing it. What are the outcomes of cigarette addiction? Outcome one is the satisfaction of relieving the withdrawals from your last cigarette, which is lunacy. I mean, that's a crazy way to live your life constantly in that state of mind. Outcome number two, though, is obviously the health risks that are going to eventually happen to most people, not everyone, but to most people. So you have to ask yourself, if you're going to say you enjoy smoking and you don't think it's a waste of money, you have to say, well, I also enjoy not being able to breathe as well. I also enjoy the way that my clothes smell afterwards. I also enjoy the stain that it's creating on my teeth. You have to take all of the bad that comes with maybe the very little bit of perceived good. You can't get to pick and choose what aspects of addiction you enjoy or don't enjoy. And I'm very concerned that that's what I'm seeing happen here.
It's something that I personally enjoy, and as such, it's just not a waste of money to me. It's really not a waste of money to me. And I'm going to go and pop this real quick, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of ASMR right there.
So I think if you start to realize that you don't actually enjoy it, which is a key step to quitting any addiction, I don't care if it's alcohol, heroin, opioids, I don't care what it is, you have to realize that you don't actually enjoy it. That's the key step to quitting any addiction. If you truly think you enjoy it, you're going to continue to do it.
But that to me is the literal reason why it's not a waste of money, because I do genuinely enjoy smoking cigarettes kind of thing. I genuinely enjoy smoking cigarettes. I might not enjoy being addicted kind of thing, but...
Boom, right there. He says, I might not enjoy being addicted, and that's where I would love to talk to him and ask him, what do you mean by that? What is it about addiction that you don't enjoy? Because smoking cigarettes and having a nicotine addiction, that is a prime example of addiction. So you cannot say, I enjoy smoking cigarettes, but I don't enjoy being addicted, I think. You can't say that. This is your brain giving you two different thoughts. You need to explain that more. Which he did explain that in another video, which in my opinion does not make nicotine sound enjoyable at all. It makes it sound like a nightmare. everyone who's used heroin at one point, they thought they enjoyed it. I want to be very clear on that. Someone who got addicted to opioids at one point, they thought that they enjoyed it. What's the difference between heroin and cigarettes? Well, heroin, yeah, it will mess up your life on a large scale very, very quickly, right? You have a much higher chance of overdose. Cigarettes, in my opinion, are equally dangerous because of the slow bleed that they create. When we're addicted to cigarettes, vaping, whatever the harmful addiction may be, it's slowly taking aspects of our life away from us that we enjoy. Maybe we enjoy being physically healthy. Well, slowly cigarette addiction will take that from us. Maybe we enjoy having extra money in our bank account and earning interest on our investments with our money. Slowly cigarette addiction will take that away from us. Maybe we enjoy our relationships. Maybe we enjoy playing on a sports team. Well, if you get really, really sick from vaping or smoking cigarettes, slowly it takes that away from us. God forbid if he ever did develop some type of illness, which rarely happens at a young age. Typically that's way, way, way down the line. But God, that would stand to take away his ability potentially to make YouTube videos, to use his voice, to use his creativity to influence people. Those are the things, in my opinion, that this dude actually enjoys. Creating things for people, being outside in nature. He doesn't need, in my opinion, nicotine to enhance that experience, although he does have an entire channel dedicated to nicotine addiction. My point of all that was heroin addiction and nicotine addiction are not that different, okay? They're not. Obviously, heroin's way more harmful, but if we're talking about cigarettes, the end result might be the same. It's just a slow bleed. And honestly, that might be even worse because you're experiencing the symptoms of this slow bleed and you don't even understand that the cigarette or the nicotine is the cause of these symptoms. It's the facade created by addiction.
I genuinely enjoy the oral fixation and the buzz that I get every once in a while, and just the smoking habit and just the smoking. Kind of thing. I enjoy this. I enjoy the smoking kind of thing. I'm having trouble putting words into my mouth and making it into words kind of thing.
Smoking is not a habit, and it's really dangerous when we call smoking a habit. A lot of people say this. I used to say this about chewing tobacco. Oh, it's just a habit of having a dip in my mouth. Oh, it's just a habit of having a vape in my mouth. It's a drug addiction, and the ritual that you're going through is your brain's way of saying, okay, I'm about to get that drug, which in your mind you think is going to lead to a sense of enjoyment, satisfaction, and relief. You get that drug, you say, I feel better all of a sudden. I feel relief all of a sudden. There's that sense of enjoyment. But you're failing to realize the only reason you're experiencing that relief is because you're starting to go through withdrawal since you've had that last cigarette. And maybe he does realize that. I'm not saying him. I'm just talking in general, okay?
I'm having trouble getting my words from my mind into my mouth kind of thing today, so I do apologize. But it's just one of those things where if you enjoy it, then it's certainly not a waste of money. But I don't know. This seems to be something that, in my personal opinion, a lot of people like to point out as being a waste of money. Look, if you quit cigarettes for 2 years, you could buy a new car or something like that. I've seen countless of those posts, probably hundreds of them, kind of thing. And it's one of those things where, yeah, sure, to some people it's a waste of money, but to somebody like me who enjoys it kind of thing, it's not a waste of money at all. And
to me, it's not necessarily the waste of money that's so bothersome. It's the waste of time, energy, and effort that one puts into an addiction. It's a waste of a lot of good brain power, a lot of space in a person's brain when they become obsessed with an addiction. He talks about cigarettes and he says, I have a cigarette and then I'm thinking to myself, man, that was a good cigarette. I can't wait to have another cigarette. Here's that thought process going on and on and on and on. And in my opinion, that's one of the most dangerous parts about addiction, the distraction that it creates from other things in our lives that maybe we should be going after. Now, in the case of Jacob effing Jones, that's a little different because the dude is building a career for himself off of smoking cigarettes. So he might be like the one in a million where this is a little different.
if you ask me, going out and eating food every day at fast food restaurants or something like that, which I do, so I'm kind of a hypocrite on that. I do tend to eat at a lot of fast food, but I try not to. I'm trying to cut it down right now. That is a waste of money, because I'll eat at fast food because it's convenient. I don't eat at fast food because I enjoy it, kind of thing. I eat at fast food because it's convenient. And but I don't enjoy it. I might enjoy it in the moment kind of thing, but 5 minutes later I forgot about it kind of thing. A cigarette.
Okay, he says he might have enjoyed fast food in the moment, but then 5 minutes later he forgets about it. And he's going to go on to say, well, a cigarette, I have it. I think, damn, that was a good cigarette. So he's starting to get cravings now. He's starting to get withdrawal symptoms. He says, I want another cigarette. He enjoys that, he says. Here's the thing. Are you overlooking potentially? Are you just enjoying cigarettes in the moment? And are you ignoring the possible outcomes in the future? That would be my question. Like, do you think there might be a day or a time where you look back and you say, damn, I really enjoyed that in the moment, but now I'm really facing a lot of regret? Do you think maybe the same type of thing is happening here that happens with the fast food, but you're just not, I don't know, accepting that? Or maybe you just don't think that's possible because you're like, no, I'm going to quit well before anything like that happens. I don't know. That was my thought process when I was this dude's age, at least. But, then here I was 10 years later.
I'm just kind of like even 30 minutes later, I'm just kind of like, man, that was a good cigarette. That was a good cigarette kind of thing. That's just how I feel kind of thing. And so to me, cigarettes are just, simply put, not a waste of money at all. And something that I really enjoy, and because I enjoy it, I don't perceive it as a waste of money.
I think it's very dangerous when we talk about addiction in a sense of, if it's something you enjoy, it's not a waste of money, it's not a waste of time, it's not a waste of life. Because I think anyone who has ever suffered with addiction would tell you that they sincerely enjoyed that drug in that moment. But I think most people who were fortunate enough to escape addiction and the problems that come with addiction would tell you at the end of the day, they were wrong. They were very, very wrong. They had fallen for the lie that addiction creates. And Jacob, I would just ask you, is this a scenario where you got to call out the lies that addictive voice is telling you? Is this Jacob talking, or is this the addiction talking? Because you told me earlier in this video that you don't so much enjoy the addiction, and I'm just wondering where you're at with that. I can't wait to read your guys' comments. That's where I'm going to follow you guys after this video. I hope you enjoyed it.